Hi everybody, my name is Ryan Boyle. Today on my first episode of Sales 101, we're going to be covering networking. Before we get started, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born and raised in Toronto, Ontario, and all through my high school and my teens, I loved sports. In high school, I was on the team for golf and basketball, but I never really applied myself to the grade aspect. Then grade 12 came around. Everyone's looking to apply to colleges and universities and get acceptances, but I never really knew what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And then I thought about it for a bit. I was like, what can I see myself doing? And then I remembered the game of golf. Golf is my passion. If I could, I'd play every day. So then I thought to myself, how can I get myself involved in a career opportunity in the game of golf? So then I applied to a few colleges. None of them really stuck out. And then I came across Georgian College, where they had the Bachelor of Applied Business Golf Management program. It's a 4-year program which allows me to kind of gain experience in all aspects of the golf industry, whether it's marketing, sales, customer relations, and so on. Right off the bat, I loved it. Great teachers, great friends, and the overall class was exciting. Then our first co-op came around. We were required to work somewhere and gain experience to give ourselves a head start in the industry. And I thought to myself, how can I make myself stick out? How can I sell myself to gain an advantage over the rest of my classmates? There were a few things on my checklist. I wanted to work at a tournament, I wanted to make a lot of money, but I also wanted to travel. So when I went on to some networking sites and started to shoot out resumes like they were business cards. And then I think I applied to at least over 50 courses all over the States, just waiting for that one response. And then they came across the Pittsburgh Field Club. So I started talking to Paul Myers, the superintendent, and started getting to know him. Then we started to develop a relationship, and right off the bat, it was just a great job. So I went down in May of 2010 and visited him, just to kind of see how the course runs and see how he thought I could learn. It was a great experience and perhaps one of the best experiences of my life. But it wasn't about the summer, it was about how I got there, how I networked myself, and that is what we're going to cover today. As you can see, from that summer I gained a lot of experience. At the age of 18, I was able to work in the US, make a lot of money, but also work a tournament. That was a huge aspect for me. I felt that would give me a huge advantage and really stick out on my resume. I was the only one in my program to travel to the US, and I was able to work at Women's US Open. But as I mentioned before, it wasn't about the experience, it was about how I got there, how I networked myself, how I was able to make myself stand out. And that is what I'm going to talk about today when I refer to the two types of networking. The online networking, which involves the World Wide Web, which is used for so many things like Facebook and YouTube. But I'm going to talk about the professional aspect of that. Secondly, I'm going to talk about face-to-face networking, which involves developing a relationship, building a rapport, and really focusing on the initial contact as well as the follow-up. That's coming right up. As mentioned before, there are many different ways to network yourself online. As a few of the sites that I mentioned, such as Facebook and YouTube, another option is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is more of a professional Facebook, which allows you to connect to past employers, new employers, as well as your friends. I personally use this to not only develop new business, but follow up on old business as well. Unlike Facebook, instead of showing where you're going tonight, what you did last night, that great party you had last weekend, it shows professional aspects, such as where you're working currently, where you worked in the past, your goals for the future, your education, as well as your summary of just personal experiences. This allows people to kind of get to know you from a professional aspect. And on the side, it also allows you to import your resume. This way people can instantly go on and see, where you've worked, and kind of gain where you came from, where you've developed, and where you want to go. LinkedIn is a great form to connect with people. Unlike Facebook, where you connect with friends, on LinkedIn you just develop connections. A personal example is that when I was applying to different golf courses for this upcoming co-op, I applied to the Granite Club, which I got in contact with the golf operations and club management, Dave Fritz. I met him in person, but then I followed up on LinkedIn. I was able to kind of gain a personal relationship and ultimately led to a position. As most of you know, Facebook is a great way to connect with friends. But what most of you don't know is that it's also a great way to connect with business partners. Facebook is a great way to kind of just promote your product, promote your business, and ultimately lead to more sales. From a personal aspect, I recently just acquired a job at Triton Sales and Marketing promoting the new Little One training aid. As you can see from this profile, this is all about LinkedIn. It allows people to go on, see what the product is all about, and a little bit of details about it. It's a great way to kind of, connect with your viewers. Facebook, depending on how your relationship is with your client, is also a great way to kind of message each other back and forth, see what's going on, and ultimately lead to a plan to develop the future. The next site I'm going to talk about is aboutme.com. About Me is a great site to promote yourself, and it's completely different from LinkedIn and Facebook. About Me is more of a billboard. It's a quick way to just send out your message about what you're about. It allows people to go on and view this quick little billboard, which ultimately leads to your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, as well as your Twitter account and email access as well. As most of you know, in business, there's not that much time to execute a plan. One of the main key aspects is also known as an elevator speech. This is just a little quick 3-sentence paragraph that kind of tells your employer what you're about, what you plan to do, and how you're going to do it. It's a great way to send your message out quickly and effectively, and ultimately leads to more business. The second type of networking I'm going to cover today is face-to-face, which I personally feel is the most important aspect of any conversation. Face-to-face really involves the initial contact as well as the follow-up. In any situation, whether going into an interview or even meeting a new person, the first 5 seconds is the most important, because that is when you develop trust and create an image. When you're doing the initial contact, it is very important to maintain eye contact. Eye contact shows that you're trustworthy as well as confident. The second aspect is maintaining a nice physical appearance. Everyone loves a person who shows up and dresses well. If you're showing up in jeans and a t-shirt, it obviously shows that you do not care. Another very important aspect is confidence. This can be easily displayed through lots of smiling, as well as laughing and developing a happy atmosphere. One of the most important aspects in any conversation is to develop rapport. When you first make initial contact with anyone you want to do business with, you never talk about your product and what you want. It's always about them. You want to determine their needs. One way to describe this is to qualify. You want the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why of them. You want to find out what they want, when they want it, and how they're going to get it. This is an easy way to find out if you have what they want, which enables you for the follow-up to create an initial business. Another key aspect of talking with them is you always want to say you. You makes them feel involved, and making someone feel involved makes them feel comfortable and allows you to develop a relationship, develop rapport, and ultimately lead to a sale. Although I'm 19 and the online generation is my generation, I personally feel that face-to-face interaction is the most effective way to develop relationships. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a personal experience I had. I recently volunteered into the 2011 Golf and Travel Show to promote myself. All the top brand companies go there to promote their products, but I felt it was a great learning experience to not only develop myself, but to promote myself and give myself more opportunities. One of the ways that I did this is I went over to the Triton Sales and Marketing booth and started talking with Jack Hurst, the president. He was there promoting the new Little One training aid. We started talking, and he said if I could sell one within the next hour, that he would give me 20%, which was $20. So I went in the next 20 minutes, I found a customer, brought it over, and he gave me the money. And I thought to myself, I was like, wow, I've never met this guy before in my life, and in 20 minutes of talking to him, I sold a product, we developed a relationship, and the funny thing is, I now work for him. I now have a sales job, which ultimately was the goal. I didn't expect it, but I networked myself properly and effectively, led to a position, and leads to a future. To conclude, I'd just like to go over what we covered. Whether it's online networking or face-to-face networking, the key to everything is patience. You don't want to come off like you're urgent and you're desperate, because that's when you show that you have sales breath, and that's the last thing you want to display. So just remember, be confident, smile, and the perfect moment will come right to you. If you have any additional questions, feel free to contact me. And if you're interested in using any of those techniques or any of those websites, I'll post them in the description below. Until then, thank you, and hopefully episode 2 will come out soon.